I arrived earlier than planned because I didn't know what else to do with the quiet in my own house. The key still stuck in the lock the way it always had. Inside, nothing smelled cooked, no candles, no balloons. Just cold pizza in an open box on the counter, the cheese congealed into a dull skin. He was in the living room, angled toward the window instead of the television. The TV was on anyway, volume low, some daytime game show cycling through applause. That sounded tired. His chair faced the light like he was waiting for something to move across it. "Happy birthday," I said, softly as if volume might startle him. He nodded. Not weakly, just once. There was a plate on the tray in front of him with 2 slices missing. He hadn't touched the crusts. I asked if he wanted anything warmed up. Tea. Soup. He shook his head again. I sat on the edge of the couch and let the silence stretch. It wasn't awkward to him. I'd learned that over months of visits. The silence was something he used, not something that happened to him. The thing no one talked about, what they joked around instead, was that his paralysis had never been fully explained. There were reports, opinions, words like partial and degenerative and unlikely. Over time, unlikely became never, and never became permission. Permission to forget his birthday. Permission to leave the country. The phone buzzed on the table before either of us reached for it. The screen lit up with their faces already laughing, sunburned and glossy, leaves draped around their necks like proof of having escaped something unpleasant. "There you are," my husband said. "We were wondering if you'd even make it." His mother leaned into frame. "Did you get the pizza?" We figured easy was best. Then she tilted the phone down, finally looking at him. "Oh." Still parked. My husband laughed. "Have fun with the cripple." The word landed wrong, not sharp, just heavy, like furniture dropped upstairs. I looked at him. He didn't look back. His eyes were on the phone, attentive, curious, as if this were data he'd been waiting to collect. I should have said something. I felt the familiar pressure of it, years of swallowing corrections because correcting never changed anything. I stayed still, hands folded, and hated myself a little for that stillness. Then he moved, not suddenly, not with effort. He placed his palms on the arms of the chair and shifted his weight forward. But the way someone does before standing when they know exactly how much strength they have. He stood. No drama, no wobble. He straightened, adjusted his balance, and looked directly at the phone. The laughing stopped first, then the talking. "I've been listening," he said. His voice was steady, not loud. "And I've been preparing." My husband blinked. "Dad, what are you doing?" "What you assumed I couldn't," he said, "for a long time." He reached for the phone, and I handed it to him without thinking. My hands were shaking. His weren't. "It's showtime," he said almost gently. "Let's make this official." He tapped the screen. Another call merged in. Then another. A man introduced himself. A woman followed. Titles were stated. Dates referenced. The language changed immediately, precise, clipped, careful. My husband's smile dissolved into confusion. "What is this?" he asked. His father held the phone at arm's length so everyone could see him standing there, unaided. "This," he said, "is documentation you waived responsibility for. Medical neglect. Financial misuse. Recorded statements. Including that one you just made." My mother-in-law started speaking too fast. "This is ridiculous." "You said..." "I said what kept you comfortable," he replied. "I said what kept you gone." The woman on the call asked my husband to confirm his location. Asked if he was aware he'd been listed as primary caregiver. Asked if he understood what abandonment looked like on paper. I sat frozen, watching the house I thought I knew tilt into something sharper and more exact. My husband tried to joke, then tried to argue, then went quiet. When the call ended, the silence came back, but it wasn't empty anymore. It was finished. He lowered himself back into the chair with care, exhaled once, and closed his eyes. Just for a moment. I didn't clap. I didn't cry. I stood and put the pizza box in the trash. "I'm sorry," I said, and meant more than one thing. He opened his eyes and looked at me. "You stayed?" he said. "That counts." Later, after the house settled, I understood what had shifted. Not triumph. Not revenge. Just gravity returning to its proper place. Power didn't shout. It documented. It waited. And when it moved, it did so without asking for permission. I stayed longer than planned. Not because he needed me, but because I needed to learn what standing actually looked like.